Hello, fellow Orvillians and hillbillies of the galaxy. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek, here once again with an Orville review for you. This week we're talking about episode 11, New Dimensions. Can y'all believe the season's almost over already? Like, one more episode this season. I don't know how I feel about that. It's kind of sad. It's been a good season. It's been a strong first season. I've really been enjoying it. As y'all no doubt have attested from my reviews, I'm digging this show. It does a lot of really good things in it. And this episode is no different. Absolutely not. There's some really good stuff in this episode. If you watched my previous video on Orville, I spoke briefly about how Orville has to set itself apart from Star Trek. It has to do new things and new horizons. It can't just be a rehash of old Star Trek episodes, which several seasons this episode have been. Just being objective. Don't crucify me. This episode did that. Well, we got some really good stuff. With John Lamar specifically, I really enjoyed the character development we got from his character this week. I really liked how he did get promoted to chief engineer and was given command of a project and knocked it out of the park. That was really cool. And you can kind of relate to him, at least, when I was a kid. The geekiness was still very, niche. It wasn't mainstream the way it is now. So we had to, and a lot of times, in order to be cool and fit in, we had to hide our sci-fi fan nature, our geek nature, our comic book nature, our Star Wars fan stuff, our Star Trek fan stuff. It all had to be hidden away, given that we were given the ungodly title of nerd or geek and ostracized by society. Of course, in your adult life, who gives a shit? I am what I am. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek. But I can understand how John Lamar would have to feel like he would need to keep his intelligence hidden. Especially when he talked about the colony that he grew up with it being a lot of farmers and such like that, and intellectuals weren't very highly prized in his society. So that kind of resonated. I thought that was really cool. And to see him come out of that shell and really take charge and take lead and take command. And by the end of the episode, you really feel like, that engineering department is his. Excuse me, winter air. That was really great. That was really cool. I really am starting to like him as a character. Sometimes I kind of felt like his acting could be a little stiff at times, but then other times he knocks it out of the park. So I don't know if that's his acting or if that's just his character. I'm looking forward to seeing more John Lamar going into season 2 and to see what he can really do with the engineering department of the Orville. That being said, I'd also like to kind of start exploring the engineering systems of the ship a little bit more. Let's get a little bit more tech in our Orville. I'll be really cool with that. I want to know more about how the quantum drive works. I want to know more about, the weapon systems and the ship itself, because the ship is gorgeous. Gorgeous. And fun fact, it's not CG. I'm sure there are CG enhancements here or there, but that's a physical model that they're using. They're going old school with the Orville, and oh man, it's so pretty. It's so pretty. I love that ship. Can't wait to learn more about it. Another great thing this episode did that kind of separated itself from Trek is the description of a two-dimensional plane and a two-dimensional society. I was thinking Flatland before Mercer even name-dropped the book Flatland. Which I haven't read that. I mean, I read it in, what was that, geometry class or something like that? We had to read that. But, it's a really, really cool book. Y'all definitely check out Flatland. A lot of times in science fiction, when you talk of other dimensions, it's we're going to like a parallel world, a parallel Earth, a parallel society. But that's not what the dimensions actually are in a physical sense. As third-dimensional creatures, we can only perceive first or second-dimension stuff. We have no perception of fourth and fifth and higher-level dimensions. And physics currently, if my physics is current, we're currently looking at like 11 total dimensions possibly allowed by mathematics. And the one upper dimensions we have a very hard time perceiving. You'll see, fourth dimensional representations with like tesseracts and stuff like that when you're adding the time dimension to third dimensional movement. but we don't have a strong grasp or understanding, at least in the visual sense, something that we can really talk about and perceive. You know, mathematics, we can understand it, but trying to describe it is extremely difficult for us. So seeing them go to a two-dimensional world, that was really cool. That was really cool. I thought that was unique. I thought that was fun. It was unlike anything we've seen in science fiction before. I thoroughly enjoyed that. And then with the two-dimensional society laid out, looks like a circuit board, like a PCB, with electronics and stuff whirring across it. That was awesome. That was a really unique representation of what a two-dimensional society may be, if there could even be a two-dimensional society. And that's what science fiction's for, to make you look at situations like that and go, holy crap, that is unique and awesome, and I've never thought of that as a possibility. Like, I've never thought about the possibility of a two-dimensional civilization. Well, outside of Flatland, mind you. So seeing this two-dimensional city and society, that was really cool. As a guy that works with computers on the side, yeah, that was nice, because it really did remind me of a PCB, a printed circuit board, for those who know what PCB is. So I thoroughly enjoyed that. This episode gets very high marks for me. I loved it. There's a lot of great stuff. I'm really becoming a fan of Dan. Dan is a really fun kind of character. I hope he keeps popping up more and more. He kind of reminds me of Roger from American Dad, another Seth MacFarlane character. I hope we see more of Dan in the future. Yeah. Anyway, that's all I'm saying. Anything more, I'm just going to be rambling right now. So, as always, give this video a like. Comment down below what you think of this episode. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. My posting schedule's been a little awkward because of work and retail season and, all that kind of fun stuff. You work in retail and it's the holiday season. You work a lot. So bear with my posting schedule. Anyway, thank you all very, very much for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. Happy holidays, and we will speak again very, very soon. I am Average Joe, the Average Geek. Peace.